Okay, picture this. Your mind is just a whirlwind.
Right.
The thoughts flying everywhere, stuff from the past, worries about what's next, that endless to-do list. It kind of feels like you're stuck right in the middle of this, mental tornado, scattered, maybe disconnected from right now.
Yeah, that feeling of being lost in thought, totally overwhelmed. It's incredibly common. We all get there sometimes.
And you desperately need some kind of anchor.
Yeah.
Something immediate, simple, just to cut through all that noise.
We often look for really complex ways out, don't we? Trying to think our way through the thinking.
Exactly. But what if the best tools, the really powerful ones for finding presence, for handling stress, even for finding these little moments of joy, what if they're not things you have to go out and find?
What if they're already built in?
Yeah. Always available. Right here with you.
They are. It's quite literally your senses, your direct line to the present moment.
Your built-in anchors. That's it. And that's really our mission for this deep dive. We've gone through a bunch of sources, articles, some research, practical guides, all exploring this basic idea, how just, engaging your senses can pull you out of that tornado.
Ground you right here, right now.
Help manage stress, and maybe even unlock this surprising, maybe default state of simple joy.
It's really about redirecting, taking that mental energy that's spinning around inside and pointing it outwards towards what's actually coming in through your senses, from the world and from your own body.
Okay, let's unpack that. So the core idea we found everywhere is that our senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, they're these amazing, always-on links to the here and now.
What you're experiencing through them in this exact moment is undeniable. It's real, it's present.
And that presence, that's the antidote, right, to the mental whirlwind.
Exactly. When your mind's stuck worrying about what might happen or replaying what did happen, focusing on, say, the feeling of your feet on the floor, it just pulls you right back instantly.
Like a circuit breaker.
It really is. A powerful one.
It all sounds too simple sometimes,
Well, yeah, but think about it. That act of consciously bringing your awareness to what you're sensing, that is mindfulness, essentially. Being present with what is without adding judgment.
Right. Your senses give you the raw data of the present moment.
Concrete, undeniable data, something solid to focus on when all those abstract worries feel like they're taking over.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we consciously use these anchors? One big approach we saw involves movement. Mindful walking.
Ah, yes, mindful walking. It's great for people who find sitting still a bit challenging.
Totally. And it's really effective, right? The sources talk about benefits for stress, mood, focus.
Definitely.
Wow.
Widely recommended. It combines that physical activity, which is good in itself, with that crucial piece, awareness.
And it starts really simply, just noticing that you are walking. One source suggested asking yourself, how do I know I'm walking?
And the answer is physical sensation.
Yeah. The feeling of your feet hitting the ground, the movement in your legs, maybe subtle shifts in breathing.
That basic practice uses your body's own feedback proprioception, touch as the anchor. It gets you out of that mental autopilot and into the physical experience of moving.
But then there's this other layer, which one source called sensory walking. This sounds really interesting. It takes mindful walking and deliberately expands it to engage all the senses while you're moving.
Yes. It's about actively tuning in to your surroundings through each sense. So you might start, say, with vision, keeping your gaze soft, maybe looking ahead, and just noticing how the view changes as you walk.
Like things coming into view, passing by, the light changing.
Exactly. Patterns of light and shadow, movement in the trees, whatever's there. Then you could shift your focus entirely to the soles of your feet.
Oh, okay. Feeling the different surfaces underfoot.
Precisely. Is it hard pavement, soft grass, uneven gravel? Noticing the pressure, the texture, how it changes with each step.
Makes sense. Then maybe sound.
Yeah, opening up your awareness to the whole soundscape, not just the loud stuff, but the subtle things too. Your own footsteps, maybe distant traffic, bird song, leaves rustling.
Even the hum of electricity, maybe. Things you normally filter out.
Absolutely. Noticing how sounds get louder or softer as you move, and then you bring in smell.
Right. Walking past flowers or a bakery, or maybe just that smell of damp earth after it rains.
Or even noticing if the air carries any faint tastes. It's amazing what's there when you actually pay attention.
This sensory walking sounds like a really practical way to stay anchored, especially outdoors.
Yeah.
Even if your mind wanders off.
Which it will.
That active sensory focus keeps pulling you back. Helps you, savor the moment instead of just rushing through it lost in thought.
It really does. Okay, so beyond movement, the sources also talked a lot about using senses for self-soothing. Those moments when stress just hits or anxiety flares up.
Right, when you need something simple and immediate to kind of calm your system down.
And these are skills you can use yourself, independently. You don't need anything external, which is why they're so valuable. And, no surprise, engaging the senses is key.
Okay, let's walk through some examples from the sources. Sense by sense. Touch seems like a big one.
Huge! Our skin is so sensitive. Think about sinking into a warm bath. That feeling of the water all around you, often instant relief.
Yeah, or just sunlight on your skin. Or putting on really comfortable clothes, like soft fabric.
Stretching your muscles, feeling that release, getting a massage, obviously, even just petting a cat or a dog, that tactile connection.
The sources specifically mention water quite a bit. Baths, showers, even just running cool water over your hands. That instant relief idea.
Yeah, water has a very immediate grounding effect for many people. Okay, what about taste?
Taste is interesting. The sources noted it's maybe not always the primary coping tool, but it definitely has mood effects. The key seems to be doing it mindfully.
Right, not just, stress eating, but consciously engaging the sense.
Like sucking on a hard candy and really focusing on the flavor as it changes. Or letting a piece of dark chocolate melt very slowly, noticing the texture, the bitterness, the sweetness.
Or sipping herbal tea, feeling the warmth, tasting the specific herbs. It's about the experience of taste, making it the focus.
Got it. Okay, smell. This one feels very direct. Aromatherapy came up.
Yes, using essential oils. It's an ancient practice, really, but highlighted as a complementary approach now, used through inhalation or sometimes diluted in massage oil.
And the reported benefits seem quite broad. Stress, anxiety, mood, sleep, even pain.
Yeah, some specific oils get mentioned repeatedly. Lavender is a big one. Sources cited its potential for reducing anxiety, helping with stress, improving mood, aiding sleep quality.
Wow, that's quite a list. Even mentions of helping with migraines or pain relief.
And normalizing vital signs after surgery, in some studies mentioned. Then there's chamomile, often linked to easing anxiety and depression, improving sleep. Research suggests it might interact with GABA receptors.
GABA. Those are the brain receptors involved in calming things down. Yeah.
Exactly. So chamomile might help enhance that natural calming process. Rosemary was also mentioned, potentially helping with anxiety and even cognitive function, like memory or focus.
It's interesting how specific scents can have these documented effects. Lavender is even designated, generally recognized as safe by the FDA, according to one source.
Yeah, well, we always need more research, especially for some complementary therapies. The evidence for oils like lavender and chamomile having real physiological and psychological effects is definitely growing. It's tapping into that direct sensory pathway to our nervous system.
And then just looping back to sight and sound, like with the mindful walking, just taking a moment to consciously look at something non-judgmentally or really listen to the sounds around you. Those can be simple, powerful self-soothers too.
Absolutely. They're always there, these resources, ready to pull you out of your head and into whatever's actually happening right now.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit to something we all do every day, usually without much thought, eating.
Ah, yes. Mindful eating. This ties everything together beautifully.
It's basically applying mindfulness, using your senses to the whole experience of eating, right?
Precisely. Paying full attention. Listening to your body's actual hunger and fullness cues. And really engaging all the senses, noticing the colors, the smells, the sounds of chewing, the textures, the flavors.
Which is so different from how we often eat, isn't it? Like mindlessly grabbing food, watching TV, or scrolling on our phones.
Totally. And that mindless, quick eating, there's a physical consequence. One source mentioned it takes about 20 minutes for your brain to get the I'm full signal from your stomach.
Okay. So if you eat really fast and aren't paying attention, you can easily eat way more than you need before your brain even catches up.
Exactly. But mindful eating isn't just about quantity. It also helps you start noticing the difference between physical hunger, your body actually needing fuel, and emotional hunger.
Eating because you're bored or stressed or sad.
Right. And once you start noticing that difference, you can also start identifying your triggers. What situations or feelings or even places make you want to eat when you're not truly hungry.
And that awareness gives you a choice.
It gives you that crucial pause. Instead of just reacting automatically, you can see the trigger, feel the urge, and then choose how to respond. Maybe you use a different soothing technique instead of reaching for food.
Yeah, makes sense. Studies mentioned in the sources suggest it can really help with managing that emotional eating cycle and support healthier eating habits overall.
Yeah, it's about changing the behavior by changing the awareness around it.
The sources had some really practical tips too, like eat slowly, chew thoroughly. Simple stuff, but hard to do sometimes.
Eliminate distractions, turn off the TV, put the phone away. Maybe try eating in silence for a few minutes just to really tune in.
Focus on how the food feels in your body. Stop when you feel comfortably full, not stuffed. Ask yourself why you're eating.
Even simple things like plating your food nicely, sitting down at a table, it signals that this is a time for focused attention on nourishment.
These aren't meant to be rigid rules, are they? More like invitations.
Exactly. Invitations to turn eating from an automatic act into, well, a potentially rich sensory experience, nourishing mind and body.
Now, there was also some really fascinating stuff in the sources about maybe a deeper connection here, linking this sensory presence to actually cultivating joy or even bliss.
Yeah, that was interesting. One perspective, I think, from a discussion thread we looked at, suggests that maybe joy isn't something you have to actively build or force.
What then?
Maybe it's more of a natural state, like the default state that's just there when the mind settles down. When you strip away all the mental noise by being present through your senses.
Wow. So joy is something you uncover rather than create.
That was the idea presented. Kind of profound, really. And that same source talked about actively engaging the body. Described it almost like sucking joy into the body.
Oh.
By focusing attention and breath on physical sensations. They even mentioned experiencing physical releases like burps or little internal crackles as part of letting go and just being present.
That sounds a bit like concepts from somatic experiencing, which was also mentioned briefly, that focus on the nervous system, releasing trapped energy or trauma held in the body by tuning into physical sensations.
Exactly. It all points to this idea that the body is not just carrying the mind around, it's the primary place where we experience life. Consciously engaging with its sensations through our senses is fundamental.
Fundamental for presence, for releasing tension, and maybe, just maybe, for tapping into that inherent capacity for ease and joy.
It brings it all back home, doesn't it? Your physical sensory experience. It's not background noise, it's the pathway.
The pathway to anchoring yourself, getting through tough stuff, and finding calm, and maybe joy.
So when you're trying these things, the walking, the self-soothing, the mindful eating, or just any moment you want to be more present, the consistent advice across the board was focus completely on whatever sense you choose in that moment.
But knowing your mind will wander off. That's okay.
Totally okay. Expected, even. The practice isn't about never getting distracted. It's about noticing when you get distracted.
And then gently bringing your attention back without beating yourself up about it.
Exactly. Kindness is key. Gently guide your focus back to the feeling of your feet or the sound or the taste. Patience and compassion.
Don't judge the distraction. Just notice and return. Maybe a good starting point for listeners could be to actually list out some of their personal sensory anchors.
Oh, that's a great idea. What specific sights, sounds, smells, tastes, or textures do you already know bring you a bit of calm or presence?
Yeah, build your own little sensory toolkit inspired by these ideas in your own experience.
Having that personal list ready makes these techniques much easier to access when you actually need them.
So if we zoom out, what's the big takeaway here from this deep dive?
I think it's that engaging your senses isn't just a small trick. Based on everything we looked at, it's presented as this really powerful, incredibly accessible, and immediate way to anchor yourself firmly in the present moment.
It gives you a direct way out of those mental loops into the reality of right now, providing real tools for dealing with stress, anxiety, difficult feelings.
And by doing that, by clearing away some of that mental clutter and bringing you into presence, these simple practices can help you notice, maybe uncover, those moments of simple joy and ease that are often already there.
Regardless of what else is going on.
These tools aren't out there somewhere. They're in you right now, waiting to be used.
So here's a little experiment, something to take with you. Think about one totally ordinary, mundane activity you know you'll do today.
Could be anything. Washing dishes, your commute, making coffee.
Okay, pick one. And then just for a minute or two during that activity, deliberately choose to engage just one of your senses fully.
Really focus only on the feeling of the warm water on your hands, or the sounds outside your window during your commute, or the rich aroma of that coffee as you brew it.
Just one sense. How might that tiny conscious shift in your attention change your experience of that everyday moment? Give it a try. See what happens.